Hola, hola, and welcome to State of the Arts DMV at BlackRock Center for the Arts, where we dive into the stories behind the artists, the magic, and the moments that light up our lives. I'm your host, Orietta, and today we're unwrapping a special holiday treat just for you. Grab your eggnog, dust off your ugliest holiday sweater, and let's get into it with Tula and Regina. This is part 2 of the conversation with Tula and Regina. What's it like to perform at BlackRock?
Well, my history with the BlackRock is a little bit longer. It started in a pre-pandemic. When Brad was working there, I knew Brad through Theatre Washington. I used to go to their show tunes nights. And he approached me and he said that they were thinking about doing a drag show if I would be interested in putting it together. And I'm like, well, yeah, in a theater, right? And so I remember visiting the space for the first time and being backstage. And I'm like, oh my God, there's dressing rooms with lights and sinks and bathrooms. I was like, whatever it is, we're going to do a show here. And it was an interesting experience for me working, with a tech crew, a professional tech crew and lighting crew, and actually having a full run through before the show, because most of our shows, we don't do that, right? I mean, you put the music together and you play and off you go, hopefully doing well. So,
and you pray.
And really say, okay, look, let's make sure it works, and having a crew and the space for me, because I am a theater person, and many of the spaces that we have worked over the years, sometimes we dress in bathrooms or working kitchens. We have dressed under stages, behind stages. I have been in dressing rooms, in basements of buildings with rats running around. I mean, literally.
In rooms with construction still going on.
Yep.
Yes.
We are very much not respected when it comes to that. I'm very honest about this, right? It's like, well, they expect you to be in a fabulous outfit, but you're dressing behind a garbage dumpster. So having a dressing space, having a theater, having lighting, having sound, having all the things that, professional actors get to have, for me was just beyond cloud nine. And then, so the first show I did there, I was like, okay, I can't wait. For me, the BlackRock has become my favorite space, because the community, and of course, I've gone for many different people that have worked there over the years. Everybody's awesome. It doesn't matter. All the new people that have come in, the new management, I got to meet some of the new board members. It's such an exciting space for me. And the fact is that it's such a embracing space. So many places are not necessarily embracing to drag, right? Or they're nervous about, can we even do this here? It's become such a hit. We had a family-friendly show a couple of years ago. I did a tea with Tula we had 5-year-olds, teenagers. I had the Seneca High School choir there open the show for me like they did last year. And we had these young people in the audience. And I used to be very nervous about having children at a drag show until I realized children look at us as what we are. Performers. They don't care. They look at the image. They look at the sparkle. They look at the makeup. They look at it as a theater thing, as a character. They don't care if we are men or women or whatever, what our sexual preferences are. They just see the illusion. And that made me feel beyond special, because to me, that's what I really believe. I don't look at myself as a sexual being. I look at myself as what I create. And kids don't sexualize things because they don't understand what that is, right? So they just look at us as entertainment. And I'm not going to use the word clown like some people do, because I don't look at myself as a clown. And clowns are often very scary for children. And seeing these parents there with the kids, just in awe and happy. And I was like, okay. And this is what BlackRock is for me, is a family. And the good kind of family that I want to sit down for Thanksgiving dinner with. And every time we do something there, I'm ecstatic. And every time I step on a stage, And I honestly, for the first couple years, didn't even know that we had a main stage because we're always in the black box. I have no idea how I missed it. When I saw that main stage, I was like, I need to have a show on that main stage because I want myself and my performers to have a curtain that opens. You know what I mean? To have that whole drama of the theater. And the Christmas pageant last year was definitely my favorite show I have probably ever done in my whole drag career.
Amazing.
So that's what the BlackRock is to me. It's everything.
For audience members who are completely new to drag, what are some do's and don'ts of attending their first performance?
The fact that you showed up, first of all, is probably the best thing that's going to happen to you, is that you actually took the time to come to a drag show, because I guarantee you, no matter what drag show you go to, you're going to be entertained. There's really no way to go to a drag show and not at least one entertainer hit that spot that you came there to see and that you wanted to experience. I think the only thing that I would say is a don't. I don't see any don'ts, but do's definitely come and have a good time. Understand that this is drag. This is not aliens. This is not a takeover. This is not we're trying to convert you and turn you into something. These are not monsters. It's a show. It's just like going to see anything on Broadway. And the fact that, first of all, take into consideration, you showed up. We didn't ask you to show up. You showed up. All we want to do now is we want to make sure that because you showed up, you have just as much of a fabulous experience as if we were not drag queens and you were coming to see a production. I mean, because, I like the quote that RuPaul did years ago. She says, we're all born naked, the rest is drag. I mean, you showed up and you've got your little hat on, you've got your jewelry, you've got your backdrop. That's your drag. Okay, but that's just it. You're in drag. Hey. And my one of my daughters, my trans daughter, she works at a clothing store, and she makes suggestions to gentlemen as to what she thinks would look good on them. But if they have a style and they have a like, well, they're not going to accept what she says. They're going to say, well, no, my style is okay. Well, that's his drag. That's his style. And for me to feel dressed up and to feel like I can put on a good show, well, this is what I do. This is my drag. I put on drag to entertain you. I mean, I could do it as a boy, but it's probably not going to be as fun. I mean, I don't know, but again, everybody is in drag. Everybody is in drag. You choose what you wear. You choose what you put on your face. You choose the products that you put on your body and your hair, whatever. You have woken up and you have decided to get into clothing and walk out the door. You got in drag. There is no rules, rhymes, reasons, or anything to drag. Like they say makeup. It's makeup. Okay, my cheek is also on my eyelid. It's makeup. It doesn't know what it is. That's why it's called makeup. I put it where I want to put it. And that's my drag. And that's what I'm trying to tell people is like, everybody's in drag. And drag is the second oldest profession in the world. So I don't understand where anybody's even having a problem with the word drag. Drag shouldn't even be a word. It should be, okay, your style is this, your style is that. You're going to put on a show, I'm going to sit here and watch. Okay, that's your drag. So, yeah. That's what I would say. I don't know that there's any don'ts other than,
I think there are
just don't be disrespectful. That's all I would think is just don't be disrespectful. Go ahead.
I think there is definitely a don't when queens are performing on the stage or even like on a dance floor. Don't walk across the floor. Don't interrupt the performance. Don't try not to get in the way, because if somebody like is a dancer and they're moving, they may not be able to see you and you may end up colliding with them. So that's definitely a don't. Also, when you meet drags, try not to touch hair or makeup or faces. Some people think they're cute when they're doing that. That's a big don't. And the big do, what you really should do is when you go to a drag show, bring a lot of $1 bills, because we love being tipped. That's the biggest show of appreciation next to screaming and applauding is throw money at us. And I'm going to be very honest about this, because that's something we do love, because it takes off a lot of money, like Dolly says, to look this cheap. So drag is not cheap. So bring lots of dollar bills and bring the best, most wonderful attitude you can have, and you're going to have a great old time.
I have interpreted the landscape differently as somebody who's grown up with analog and then to digital. So I think now that we live in this digital age, and we have been for decades now, there are whole generations that only know this digital age. I think drag feels more accessible.
I think because of the digital age, I think our things have changed a great deal. You know, when Regina and I started first doing drag, we had families, and we still do. That's how we became who we are. We had drag mothers, or we are mothers. We both have drag children, and we take this very seriously. We are two lethal mothers, I tell you that. And we still have children, and we still care about them. And for us, that's how we started. That's how we got help. Our drag mothers, that was part of what you did as a drag mother. You taught your children how to dress, often how to do makeup, or at least you said, go to that person or go to that person if you need this. So things have changed greatly because of YouTube and, you know, the RuPaul's Drag Race and everything. But also the expectations have changed a great deal, because it's sort of like, you know, adult movies. They're movies. It's not reality. If you watch too much of stuff that's not reality, you can't cope with reality. All these influences, every girl, all these people that are, and I watch them too, so I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but they are heavily filtered. They don't look like this in reality. But unfortunately, a lot of people think that's what they have to achieve, and it's not achievable. It's not real. So we are real. I'm sitting here, you know, I have light on and makeup on. That's not real, obviously, but it's not a filter, and it's not, you know, reconstructed, or you know, you have these images of these performers on these TV shows that spend tens of thousands of dollars in their outfits and hair. That's not doable for the average person. So I think we have to be very careful, you know, what's the real approach to this? You know, yes, it's great to see a YouTube tutorial how to do a makeup, or maybe how to put a wig on, and on all the other things. That's great, but I miss the family aspect of it. You know, when you actually went to a person that showed you. It's a very difference if you're in a room with a person that shows you how to paint your face, how to put your makeup on, than to do it from a tutorial on a video.
I think the digital age is cheating new entertainers, no matter what their age is, because they're watching these videos, they're watching these shows, and they're thinking that's what you have to do to be somebody. And my thing is when I was starting, you know, I had like 3 mothers when I started, because I had 3 different people that were trying to guide me, because they saw the potential. But you know, there was no YouTube back then. There was no, you know, shows back then. I mean, you know, it was taboo when I first started. Like, you had to go to the clubs that were the hole in the wall, and if you knew what the club was, great, happy day. Otherwise, you never knew the club existed. So, but then I had to rely on these individuals that decided to take me under their wing and teach me how to do my makeup, how to dress, how to pick the right songs for the right venue, what the venues, how to look at the venues, how to find the venues, for one thing. So I think that, unfortunately, the digital age, I feel, is great because it's putting it out there, and it's giving everyone this opportunity to experience it now, unlike in the past when I first started. Because, you know, it just was one of those things, you know, nobody had gay friends and nobody went to the gay bars unless you were gay. So, but now it's like you can sit at home in your PJs with some popcorn and you can watch as much drag as you want to and then go to bed. You don't have to go to the venues anymore. You don't have to support anybody anymore. You know, it's so, I really feel like the digital age is cheating new entertainers and new kids to the because even in an adult, I'm going to call you a kid if you're brand new to drag, because we all have drag dates too. Like my drag birthday was October 31st, 1988. So, but I was born before that. So
happy belated drag birthday.
Yeah.
Can I wish you a drag birthday? Is that like a, you do wish some?
Oh, no. I mean, I do that too, because I also like to keep track of how long I've been doing this. But like I said, I feel like, you know, when me and Tula were growing up, that was it. Like she said, that was the best part, was we had people that were concerned about us. We had people that were teaching us. We had people that were taking us around and saying, oh, this is my new daughter. Can you give her a shot? I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to the digital aspect of drag, because I'm happy for people who desperately need it, but I'm unhappy for people who would better benefit from a mentor than from watching videos.
It's okay to copy something or to try, but become your own person. Create your own look. Create your own makeup. Yeah, I mean, when other people do your makeup, very often they maybe do it the way that they do their face. Have that done. It's all right. But don't just copy. Don't be a copycat. Be unique, because that's what makes drag exciting. Because all these drag performers that make it, they make it because they are unique. And if you copy them, yes, they say, oh, imitation is the best form of flattery, but it really isn't. Because then it just becomes the knockoff. So my advice to anybody, if you want to do drag, learn how, yes, if you watch a tutorial that teaches you how to do makeup, but create your own face. Create your own persona. Don't just do what other people are doing. And I think that's the danger that's happening with this, that people literally just become a knockoff of somebody. And then that's not who you are. And that's hard to sell, because the person that you're copying probably worked very hard or for very long to become the persona. Drag it evolves. Like all our drag, believe me. You've seen picture of Regina and
I'm still learning.
For 20 years ago is a big difference. Everything evolves. Your makeup evolves, your look evolves, your persona, but your persona is everything. Makeup is just a finishing touch. It's who you are as a person that makes the difference in the drag, to me. And if you are just a copy of somebody, it's not real. And then people are not going to connect to that, because you're not going to be a video when you're in a club. A video is flat, and a performance is not flat. A performance is three-dimensional. And if you don't have a way of reaching into your audience, there have been many famous performers in the world that weren't maybe even the greatest singers, but they had the it factor. And you cannot learn that from YouTube or from a TV show. If you want to do drag, you have to figure out, who do you want to be? More than important than looks. Looks, that's something you can work on, but it's really from the inside. What is it that you want to give people?
I had this question at a pageant, and they said, what advice would I give to somebody coming into drag? And I said, listen to what everyone has to say, because everyone's going to have an opinion. Whether it be good or bad, everyone's going to tell you their opinion. So listen to what they have to say, listen to the critiques, take some of them, don't take some of them. And I said, and then do your own damn thing, because you're the one in the end of the day who's got to live with the decisions that you make. So, but listening, I think, is the key to it, is because the only way you're going to learn is if you know what you've done wrong, so that you can fix it, so that you can become better. And I'm still learning to this day. Like, I sit there and I watch entertainers off the corner of my eye, and I'm just like, oh, she's doing that. Let me try this, that. And then next time I'm just like, okay, this is my new thing. So, and if somebody wants to get in my face and say, oh, well, maybe if you did this and you did that, I'll listen and I'll say, okay, well, thank you. But then I won't do it, because that's not who I am. That's who you are. But I appreciate the comment, and I appreciate the critique, and I will take it to heart and figure out what I want to do with it. But yeah, I feel like the digital age is not helping as much as I think people are relying on it to.
So now I feel bad calling it a drag persona, because it's not like, I feel like
Don't feel bad.
Like,
don't feel bad.
But it is. I mean, I market it that way, so that's fine.
No, we're happy with that.
Yeah,
you're happy with that? Okay.
I think it's an honor.
Thinking of drag as everything we put on, So I'm like, but
right.
It is like a persona in a way, like.
Yeah,
but everything we put on creates us.
Yes.
Do you like my ugly Christmas sweater? My non-sweater. It's like my ugly Christmas scene. That's what this is. The tree is sideways. There's a pineapple, because I'm most likely to get a pineapple instead of a Christmas tree, and some messed up lights. So anyway, I didn't have an ugly Christmas sweater to wear. So
I don't have one of those either. I never understood that. So
I don't
Regina,
have any ugly sweaters.
tell
I have a
them
ton
all
of
the
them.
shows. Tell them all the shows we're gonna do. If you insist on booking us for something, contact us through Instagram, and then we can put on a
Yes.
show for you, or a
Oh, and then
bingo,
every night,
or anything.
yes, every Wednesday you can catch me at bingo at Freddy's Beach Bar in Arlington, Virginia, from 8 to 10.
That's just her, not me. I'm at
But
Crush
Ashley's
Bar.
there, and
I'm
we're
at
all
Crush Bar at Washington
so,
D.C. on Wednesday, doing the same thing. We have now become working together in a competition at the same. No, we're not really, but
exactly.
But so yeah,
Yeah,
but
no, because
follow
is
us
better.
on Instagram, and then all the stuff will be listed, and also
Yes.
future BlackRock shows will also be listed there.
Yes.
Yay, absolutely. Hey, we need you in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We need you all over. So it's good that you have Wednesday covered. So yes, yes. Could you, if you could describe your drag persona in 3 words, what would they be?
Go ahead, Tula.
Oh no, you go first.
Why do I have to go for it?
Because
For me, 3 words. I would say comedy. Uh, my drag persona. I would say comedy. Um, what is the word that I always use? I always feel like when people say, "Oh, we so love you so much," and I'm just like, "Oh, thanks." I'm just trying, to what is that? Modesty
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, fun. I have a lot of fun. My mother taught me the gift of gab and how to be sarcastic, so I usually am able to take a moment and turn it into a comedy, no matter what the moment is. So, because I even have, like, I have my best friend who I consider to be my sister. I always know when she's having a bad day because it's the only time she calls me and she's like, "Okay, make me laugh," and I'm like, "Okay." I had coffee yesterday, and she's just like, "What?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. I didn't think there's something to say." There you go. So yeah, so I would say comedy, modesty, and fun.
Thank you. Tula.
oh Lord, so I'm gonna use some of the words that other people have used to describe me, which I take as a compliment: elegance, drama, and a lot of sass.
If you could give advice to your younger self starting out, what would it be?
So that's I'll go first because I know Tula's got
Yes.
to think about that one. I would say to just be the person that you've always been, because there's really nothing that has happened in your life or nothing that no challenge you've accomplished or gotten through that hasn't turned you into the person you are today. I mean, I've had some challenges in my lifetime, but I think they've turned me into the person that I am today. And I honestly, if I was to go back in time, I wouldn't change a single thing other than that I would pick the lottery numbers so that I could have money instead. But no, I would tell myself just continue to be who you are because you're going to turn out great no matter what the situation.
This is always a difficult question, I think, for anyone, right? Because what what advice would you give to yourself? I'm much, much better of giving advice to other people than to myself, because it's easier, because it's easier to tell somebody what they should be doing than to tell yourself what you should be doing. I think if I had any advice to myself is to have been better about listening to the right people and not the wrong people. Some of the biggest mistakes in my life, in my early career in drag, even in friendships, was mistakenly thinking people that were friends and listening to them instead of following my gut and my heart, and finding out later on I should have done that. So I think my advice to myself would be, you should have followed your gut. So like Regina just said, follow who you are, follow what you want to be, and not let other people guide you into the abyss, which happened at some point in my life. So that's would be the advice if I learn anything. And not to eat carbohydrates ever.
Stop it.
I love it. That's the glamour and the drama in her. She thought about being skinny. I thought about getting rich. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I asked this question to everybody on the podcast. Tell me what's on your playlist. What are you listening to? What should we be listening to?
Tula, do you even have a pod list?
What is a playlist?
A music playlist, like favorite mixtape or something. Music that you listen to on a regular basis.
Shut up, Regina. I can see you. I don't. I listen predominantly to classical music all day long and
Amazing.
all night. So that's music I listen to. I love other music, but the music that plays in my house is a classical station. I always have been a classical music person. I have the playlists that I would have, if I have them, if I would listen to other things, are heavy in the Broadway, genre, musicals, operettas, operas. Once again, it goes into that. So I like some pop music. I'm aware of pop music, but it's never really been my thing. As I've gotten older, I'm turning into my mother. I like the pop music from like the 70s and 80s, because it reminds me of my youth, even though I didn't listen to the music at the time. Now I do, and it brings back memories. But yes, so my playlist is probably, Tchaikovsky or Mozart.
Beautiful.
Mine's the exact opposite. Favorites: Dolly Parton, Missy Elliott, Kelly Clarkson. I got a wide range of people. Of course, I would be amiss and I would probably get my gay card taken if I didn't say Cher. So, but yes, mostly mine is top 40, just on that same note too, because being a DJ, I'm trying to keep up with the times and with the kids, so that when I go and I do my events and I've got to play music beforehand, I can kind of say, oh, okay, we got a couple of teenagers over here. Let me slip in a little of this and a little of that to make them happy. And then, of course, then I get the adults and they're like, well, where's all the dance songs? I'm like, the electric slide is how old? But you want to do it. Okay.
Oh, okay. That is some time ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. When I DJ, it's still on the playlist. Doing the butt, the electric slide, cha-cha slide.
Classic.
I'm just like,
thank you so much for this amazing interview. I really appreciate you both joining me, and we're looking forward. Absolutely. We are looking forward to being in community with you both at BlackRock Center for the Arts on December 14th. I will post the links for folks to get their tickets, and let's get analog.
Yes.
BlackRock Center for the Arts would like to thank Fort Knox Recordings for providing music for this episode. Check them out on Instagram at FortKnox5. Interested in becoming a sponsor of this podcast? Please contact oestrada at blackrockcenter.org. Until then, catch you on the flip side.